What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be taking a look at the all new 2025 Audi Q5. This one is a Premium Plus finished in Arcona White with an MSRP at $60,000. Big shout out to Hendrick Audi Northlake for providing this new luxury SUV for today's video. Check their website, link below. Let's get right into the all new Q5. Underneath the hood of the all new 2025 Audi Q5 Premium Plus, you're gonna get a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine making 268 horsepower with 295 pound-feet of torque. We get a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, quattro all-wheel drive system. The overall curb weight is 4,200 pounds. It runs on a 17.2 gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 22 miles per gallon in the city with 30 out on the highway. The overall length is 185.7 inches with wheelbase at 111. Width is 74.8 and height is 65.8 inches. Taking a look at the exterior styling, here is the previous generation, as you can tell, with some sharp body lines. For the all-new 2025, it is certainly a lot more rounded. We have a cool design for these LED headlights. They're a lot more sleek and small, nice dark housing, and it leads to this massive grille finished in a gunmetal gray. You got the new, more 2D design for the Audi logo, forward-facing camera, parking sensors all throughout it, a nice gray trim piece with a nice functional opening to allow some airflow through that front bumper. Down below, we just get some black mesh along with a safety sensor, more openings to provide airflow. But as you can tell, it is a lot more rounded. It's still a nice, bold-looking design. A lot different than the old one. It does definitely stand out to be an all-new vehicle. You have a couple sharp body lines throughout the hood, but mostly very sleek and subtle lines. As we make our way to the side profile, you can see how we have the body-colored white for the lower front bumper leading into this front fender arch. Cool design for these two-tone wheels with a nice 5-spoke design. And then we have another sharp body line up above, gloss black trim throughout this side rocker panel with a really sharp body line up above that. You're going to see body-colored mirror caps with an LED turn signal, 360 camera system, body-colored door handles, and then I like the chrome trim throughout all of these windows. You got black on the B and C pillar just to make it nice and seamless. Nice aluminum color on the roof rails and a full panoramic sunroof up above. At the side profile, the Q5 is more of the middle-sized Audi SUV, so bigger than the Q3, but not quite a Q8. So it's got a good proportion to it, sleek profile with more sloping body lines. You can see the curves throughout the side, and then a nice shot with the older Q5 over on the right side. For the back, you're going to get an integrated spoiler up above with a third brake light, some gloss black trim, windshield wiper. I do like the white accents throughout the Audi logo. That really does match the spec very well. You got the wraparound taillight design all finished in red, quattro badge, Q5 logos all blacked out. And then down below, we have a lot more body colored, some black mesh design with some silver trim, all of your parking sensors, and then a really cool look for those dual exhaust tips, finished off with the nice satin silver trim. So it comes together well with a luxury style and a lot more curves than before. Onto the key fob, you're gonna get lock, unlock, the trunk release, and then as you make our way to the interior, I can just keep the car locked. You have those power folding side mirrors, but just grabbing the door handle, it'll automatically unlock, and we can check out the interior. This one's gonna get a very cool looking pearl beige interior with all these soft touch materials. For the door panel, finished off in the two-tone, you have this soft touch material up above in black, and then I really like this beige color for the insert and the padded armrest. Got your release handle, Bang & Olufsen audio, and then the door handle is actually kind of hidden in here. You just kind of grab this whole bulk. You have some storage down below, trunk release, and then all the controls for the windows, mirrors, memory seating and windows. And then we have all of your power controls on the side of the seat with adjustable lumbar support. You're gonna see a nice leg rest as well. And then you have the smooth leather with the textured perforations all throughout the center. Some nice sleek piping all the way up. And it really comes together to be a pretty luxurious seat. You got Audi's new 4-spoke design on the steering wheel with the new logo and some nice silver trim. And then now inside the all-new 2025 Audi Q5, keep my foot on the brake. We can go ahead and fire it up. All the screens are going to roar life, and the icons on the steering wheel have now turned on. You're going to get the nice new Audi logo. On the right side, we have some Bluetooth and audio controls, a shortcut icon, as well as the heated steering wheel. On the left side, you're going to get the view icon for the screen, where you can configure a couple different things. We have steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, and then the right stock is going to have all the windshield wiper controls. The left side is going to have controls for your turn signal, and then you have cruise control all down below. Taking a look at the digital infotainment screen, you can see some information right in the center. If I scroll on this left side and just continue over, you have 3 different menus you can play with. Then on the right side, you can cycle through a couple different things, and then tapping the view icon, it'll get to a more simplistic design. Over on this left side, we are going to get a little bit of hidden storage, and then we have some more of the soft touch material, this cool wood style trim, one of your air vents, and I like the soft touch material up on the dashboard. You're going to see a head-up display system. Nice design up here with some stitching and some gloss accents with ambient lighting will go all around that ring. For the passenger side, some higher trims. This will actually be a passenger screen that only they can see, but for this, you're just going to get a gloss black piece. For the center, you can see how we have a separate screen all integrated into this curved display. You have a pretty large view right here with a navigation system. We have some other information on this left side. You can easily swipe left and right and configure all this. You even have your drive select you can play with. It's going to even change the colors that you get on the dashboard. So pretty cool. You can get an off-road drive mode. Now for this center screen, we have our home icon right here. We have a couple other shortcuts to get into your full screen nav. You have your phone integration, all the various settings you can play with it throughout the car. We have different apps that are going to come up. If you go into here, you can see different settings you can play with. And then under the car icon, we can adjust the display, the lighting, service, and things like that. You have all the actual apps in the car. You can go through Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, of course. And then down on the bottom, this is where all the climate controls are going to stay. We have heated and vented seats. You can adjust your temperature, the zones. We have the off over on the left side. To actually make some more controls, you have to hit the menu icon every single time to then adjust your fan speed. So that's where you're going to go for that. And then we have the different zones you can configure. You also have the heated steering wheel icon as well. Temperature, easy enough. So once again, just like a lot of modern cars, you have to tap that every time. You're gonna get more of this cool open wood pour design for the trim, some silver accents with your air vents in the center, and then down below, we have our volume icon on the right side, traction control, auto start stop, and a physical icon for the drive select. So that's gonna configure everything just like we did in the touch menu earlier. Down below, we have two USB ports, a 12-volt wireless phone charging, more of the soft touch material all throughout it with ambient lighting throughout this silver strip. And then we have two cup holders on the right. Safety sensor, you can toggle and go into all the different settings within the car. We have a shortcut to the parking cameras, your park button, and then your gear select is this knob, which is a nice little design, very nice and sleek out of the way. We have a 360 camera view, top down, and when you turn the steering wheel, it's even going to adjust that camera. So pretty nice way everything is configured in this car. A couple different settings we can go through, and makes it pretty simple overall. Different adjustments over on the left side. Then tapping the P button, we're back into park. You have some piano black as well, and then more of the light color beige. We can pull the button, open this up. You have extra storage space in here, and you can have this set at a couple different heights, depending on how you press the button. Over on the right side, we have a lockable glove box with a huge amount of space as expected. And then one last look at the interior. To be honest, in person, this actually is very nice, especially with all these soft touch materials. It really does look pretty good with a fantastic fit and finish as expected on an Audi. And then a massive panoramic sunroof shade that you can adjust with all the buttons up above and a nice frameless mirror. Taking a look at the rear seat space, I can just grab the door handle. You're even gonna get sunshades in back, so you can just grab that, easily open and close them. And then along the door panel, very similar to the front, you're gonna get some soft touch plastic back here, this nice beige color throughout it, release handle, and then a nice normal grab handle with storage. For the back seats, you also have the smooth leather with all the perforated design throughout it. Nice 3-person back seat. And then in the center, we can pull this one down and we have an armrest along with 2 cup holders. Up in front, we're gonna get 2 USB ports, your climate vents, a couple controls, storage down below here. And then these seats are individual. You can press this button and we can pull this one down as well. So you can get that completely through for a nice pass through into the back. And then there's a recline lever down below I can pull. And with the headrest down, we can fold all these individual seats down nicely. So hopping into the back seat with the Audi Q5. So sitting here at 5'11", this is pretty roomy. I have a ton of headroom with the driver's seat at my height. I have a couple inches of knee room. My feet fit very well too. The seat itself cradles my legs nicely. They're not too high, not too low. For the recline angle, it's not really that much. It's like an extra inch, but nonetheless, it is a decent place to be, especially with all the amenities. I like the third window too. It seems very open in here. So if you've got a small family, this is a pretty good starter SUV for that type of lifestyle. Moving on to the cargo space, there's gonna be a button underneath the Audi badge I can just press. We have a power liftgate, of course. So with these seats up, this gets about 28 cubic feet of cargo volume. So it's a pretty practical mid-size SUV. A little bit of a nook on the right and left side. You even have a cargo net over here. One thing I love, there's gonna be these handles you can pull to get these to unlock, and depending, you can get them to then fold nearly flat. You might have to push them the rest of the way, but really nice to have that access from back here. Underneath the floor, you can pull this up, and we have another grab handle. You're gonna get a ton of hidden storage space, which is really nice. And then with those seats all the way down, we're looking at about 57 cubic feet of cargo volume. So this again is a very practical SUV for the family and for stuff. We have the button right here, kick sensor as well to go ahead and open up the rear. And then to take one last look with everything folded flat, you can see how they do fold nearly flat. Nice and smooth transition from the cargo space, and you can tell how much glass there is. Still have plenty of space up in front to make this a very practical car. All right, so setting off in the Q5, I'm in the dynamic mode. Got the paddles. You know, it's pretty peppy with the four-cylinder, honestly. You can tell there's a good bit of grunt to it. If we tone the car down, it's cool you have an off-road one, but if we just stick to the comfort mode and everything, hitting a lot of bumps, you can tell the build quality is really there in this. It is solid over all of the bumps, very smooth. These seats are nice and padded. Love the leg support. I mean, this is a comfortable place to be. Great visibility, no complaints over left and right side, just a really good view around. And even on this bad road, you can hear a little bit of the road noise, but once you get on anything smooth, this thing is super quiet. I like this steering feel too. It's effortless, but still has enough weight to make you feel like you're piloting the car. And then getting up and going, throttle response seems a little laggy, but once you're zipping, you don't have to rev the engine much, and it very nicely gets up to speed. And then now it's just super smooth. So it is a nice driving car. It's pretty quiet. You hear just maybe the hint of wind noise, but really nothing to annoy you. It really does feel like a pretty nice car. Using the screen while driving, honestly, I'm not a fan of the climate because of that delay, honestly. And sometimes when you start up, this can take like a minute to work. So I really don't like that. I really wish they had fan speed right here. They have the resources to do it. I don't know why modern cars are doing that. Other than that though, you know, there's a lot of information on the screen that you're honestly never going to use. So leave it in this or CarPlay, it's good enough. The curved design actually looks pretty good while using it. A little funny to have just this gloss black blank since there's no extra screen. So a couple things I don't like with the new interior, but honestly the fit and finish and just the way it's actually shaped, it really does feel like a premium car. So it's a nice place to be. Even this is kind of a nice little handrest to press some buttons, which actually is pretty convenient. But everything you touch and feel is really nice. One more complaint, I don't like this grab handle. As you can tell on that side, you have a normal grab handle. This grab handle exists, however, you have this whole touch panel, so you have to grab in here and grab this huge piece just to grab the door closed. So that is a little annoying just because it's a big grab handle. Maneuvering, it's pretty easy. This isn't that big, and yet you can kind of weave in and out, do what you gotta do. You know, it's an easy car to drive and pilot, very flat taking turns, just very effortless, and then pretty good get up and go. I don't think I have any major driving dynamic complaints. Obviously, if you want more power, you can get the SQ5, which will have a V6, which is a really cool touch. I just wouldn't mind maybe throttle response being a little bit sharper. If we just stick to dynamic again, maybe that will, yeah, that does the trick. So if you want this to be a bit more zippy, just leave it in dynamic, and it is a lot more peppy in the low speed and still very smooth. There's nothing crazy about like it getting too stiff or too hard with the dynamic mode. All right, so my honest thoughts with the all-new Audi Q5. I don't mind the shifter. I think it's nice, sleek, and out of the way. Driver position, all the normal stuff just fitting in the car. It is a really good sized vehicle to where it's not too big, not too small. So can't complain for that. The leg rest, the maneuverability, the padding on the seats, just the overall size of the seats. I mean, you really can just get comfortable in this. And this is a fantastic daily. This is something that I would consider buying overall. And back in the day when I worked in the car industry, we sold a lot of these, and I always liked the Q5s and the SQ5s. The updates for this all-new 2025. There still is an old 2025, and then this is the all-new 2025. I don't mind this. It looks so much better in person than in pictures and on video, so give it a chance. At least check this out in person before hating on this new interior. I will say the fake screen at this point on this side looks kind of annoying. All I see is glare and reflection as I drive. So I'm not a fan of not having the passenger screen. If I did have the passenger screen, as a passenger, I would never even use it. So I don't know, I don't really see the point of passenger screens in cars in general. And then you just get a gloss black piece without it. On top of that, yeah, the door handle, it's not my favorite. It's a big piece to grab. You know, I'm 5'11", not the smallest person, but not the biggest person. You know, my wife's a lot smaller than me. This handle might be too big to grab, honestly, with her smaller hands. So I don't know if a lot of people are gonna like that door handle, quite honestly. And then at least driving it is nice. It is a good driving car. Audis drive fantastic. I've always loved Audis. They're cars you can hop in and they're just so relaxing. They may not always be the most performance packed for their trim level, for their price, but they are always very nice to drive cars. This screen does look better again in person than in pictures. So it's really nothing that annoys me about it. It's easy to use overall with the simple tile layout and the big massive screen. It makes it to where the things you are going to use are readily available, easy to work. Fundamentally, if you're looking at the new Q5, it's a solid car. It drives great, and even with the small 4-cylinder engine, this is a peppy driving experience to where it gets up and goes. I've been in dynamic mode and that drives a lot better for my personal taste. Comfort mode, like I said, the throttle response is a little laggy for just how I would like this to drive. But, you know, if you're just on the highway, obviously pop into that or leave it in balance or whatever. So it's got a good layout to just kind of be a solid choice with really no complaints. Just a couple interior quirks I'm not a fan of. Exterior styling, I'm honestly not the biggest fan of. It does look like a Ford Escape in my opinion. But overall, I think it's a pretty solid choice if you like the aesthetics of it. But there's a full look at the all-new 2025 Audi Q5, this Premium Plus trim level. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content. Big shout out to Hendrick Audi Northlake for providing this car for today's video. Check out their website, links down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.